Hello, welcome back to another Jollymun Podcast with Alfie Carter as your host and only friend for the next 15 minutes. It's a lovely day today. It is Sunday, the 6th of April, 5 days after April Fools. And on Friday, so 2 days ago, I spent the whole day on a bench. So, I did it just as a challenge to myself. I wanted to see if I could do it. And the night before, I prepped up myself 2 packets of noodles, like dry packet noodles. So I did that at midnight, which was rather kind of hilarious in a way. Spilled them on the floor, kind of laughed to myself, and just had a good time. When you're preparing for something that seems silly, it's always like the most fun things, I find. And I've put a bit of fruit in a bag, nothing too special there. And I woke up at 5:50 and I went down to the bench. Walked down, sat down, down like the Bugsy Malone song. And I'm trying to cut down how many times I say them. And I sat there and I was there for 13 hours. I was there from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. I had a few wees in the bushes, so I wasn't sitting on the bench the whole time. I did at one point extravagantly put my orange peel in the bin, which was quite exhilarating. And I just watch people and their dogs and watch people run by. Some of my friends were actually going past the bench because I was in like a centre point of the park, so it's quite like I saw quite a few people I knew just coincidentally, even though they're meant to be self-isolating like I was. And there's also a video on the channel of it. I don't know, it came up before this, so you can probably go and see it. Anyway, it was fantastic. You see people throwing balls for their dogs, throwing balls for their dogs, throwing balls for their dogs again and again and again, which is fine. And also, the thing that has just bemused me a little bit is I couldn't believe how, dogs, right? I don't think they've quite got English language quite, on lock. Like, I don't think they've quite got all the tenses and all that stuff understood. So when somebody says to the dog, without pointing, because if you point, I give the dog like the benefit of the doubt here, but I think the dog should understand that when you point in a direction where the ball has clearly entered its trajectory and the dog still doesn't know what the fuck's going on, it's probably not the brightest pooch in the pound, probably not the brightest pooch in the pound. But when a man looks at his dog and says, the ball is by the goal, come on. You've given the dog a lot of homework there. There's a lot to work out, poor thing. And it kind of looks up at him and kind of, has his ears poked forward, doesn't really know. His tail stops wagging. It's trying to calculate what the fuck is going on. And then the man thinks it's the dog's fault and gets all frustrated and walks over to the goal, picks up the ball and throws it again, and then continues to explain to the dog that the ball is near the cricket pitch. It's all great fun. To be fair, I'm considering them to be a bit silly, but I'm sitting on a bench at 8 a.m. having already been there for over an hour. It was quite nice to see people filter into the park. It was really quite beautiful. You're going about their day, just children kind of enjoying themselves. They don't really know, they don't really understand it's a pandemic. They just have an issue because their bike is over there, or their bike is, they fall off their bike. I saw some kid fall off their bike. He goes, I fell over. And his little friend goes, oh, come on then. He's like, okay. And he stood up and off he went. Fantastic. What a dude. Absolute attitude. That's what you need to have. You need to be able to look at it rationally. He looked at it rationally. He knew, okay, I just need to stand up and get going. What am I doing on the floor? I patted my hands, they're a little bit sore. I'll clap them together, rub them, look at them. Oh, but you keep going. That's what life's about. Another thing, also, the little bit of, let's add some a dash of philosophy into this little chat. If dogs could throw their own sticks, they'd take over the world, just like us. No. It's if dogs, the difference between people and dogs is that people can throw their own sticks. Basically, we can set our own goals and in the direction we want, which is why I'm able to sit here talking to a metal stick made by probably not the most beautiful of backgrounds, but and I can export this to a few people who listen to it. So you got to set your own goals. Dogs seem happy though. And some people in life, their sticks are thrown for them, and they can still find happiness. And I think sometimes I kind of forget that. I consider that people who don't I consider people who don't have the same attitude towards life and achievement as me are a bit silly and a bit glum. But of course, that's just me being ignorant. This morning as well, I went for one of my mum's friends is ill. Well, she's very high risk. So I went and did shopping for them. I mean, they seem like they're almost vegan because like 98% of their shopping list was like plant produce. And man, I mean, I had a list and a half. I tell you that. I mean, obviously I only had one list, but it was big. Please understand. And yeah, I was walking around the shop for 40 minutes. I couldn't find all these niche products: chia seeds, coconut oil, XYZ, LMNOP. By the time I'm halfway through the list, my right arm, I feel like I've got fucking half the Amazon rainforest in my right basket. I'm lurched over to one side like a car with a flat tire, going around in circles pretty much. Like it was really, really taxing on my body. Had a good time. Picked up portobello mushrooms, things like that. Bit of this, bit of that. Brown rice, green lentils. Had quite a good time. Thing is, the shops are so busy at the moment. Like, you end up queuing up for like 10 minutes before going into the shop, and they spray painted the floor these little lines. It's quite funny. It looks like a like just before the Formula racetracks, and they have kind of lines where each of the car leans up to. That it kind of looks like that outside Tesco's, except it's just overweight lowlifes from Hackney, kind of queued up with their reusable bags, which they feel like they're saving the planet with. I mean, I was there. I just explained myself pretty much, and it was nice. And at the till, actually, there was a problem because basically the digestive biscuits I picked up for this person who was high risk, who couldn't leave the house. That's why. They didn't have a barcode on it. Anyway, so I'm at the till and they're like, "Oh, this hasn't got a barcode." And so she shouts at him. Helena, so she shouts over at that was me shouting over at one of the other Tesco employees with the little badge, and she says, "Oh, this hasn't got a barcode, whip-de-doo." And the other goes, "Whip-de-doo, I'll go and sort it out, that's what I do, that's what I'm at work." It took like 5 minutes, no exaggeration. Anyway, they couldn't work out where it was. They didn't know what was going on. And I'd said previously, I was like, "You know what, man? Okay. I'll say what I said. I was like, hey, don't worry. I can leave. I don't need these. These digestives aren't paramount at the moment. I didn't say. I stopped. I said, look, hey, don't worry. It's fine. I've got everything else." In my head, I was kind of debating the fact, saying things like, it's really not the biggest problem right now. You've got a face mask on. Like, you're aware of other issues in the world. Let me get going. And she brought back and she said, no, wait. I was kind of quite shocked. I was like, what? How are you telling me to wait? I can just leave. Like, not as in like my refute, as in like against what she said. It was more just like, but it's just illogical that this is my product. I choose if I want the product or not. I've just said I don't want the product. Why do I have to wait to get the product that I do not want? That was the issue I was having. Anyway, and then they found it, right, and then the person behind the till was like, kind of laughing with the person who was next in the queue, and the person next in the queue laughed a lot, and she said, "Oh, there's always one," and I was like, I don't even want these damn digestives. And anyway, we were all having a laugh. It was actually quite wholesome. And then once you got the idea that the digestives were not like fundamental to my shopping list, they let me go, and I thought, what? They let me go. I paid and I walked off. It was all friendly though. I might have got that across a little bit angrily, but it was all fine. And yeah, it was great. It really was fun. I had a great time. I'm trying to develop this philosophy at the moment where you try and everything is like a game. Like, it's all just part of play. I can't remember who it was who said everything's play, but it really kind of stuck with me. It might. I think it's Alan Watts. It's all about play. It's just everything that happened. It may seem bad, but it's all just part of one big kind of game, and it's something that I find I associate with. And it all just becomes fun. Like, it becomes, instead of it being like, oh fuck, are the chia seeds in the world aisle? Are they in the aisle with the grains and what are they called? Corpuscles? No, that's Newton's theory. The like what's it, chickpeas and lentils and things. What are they called? Pulses. Yeah, where are they going to be? And instead of it being like, frustrating, damn chia seeds, help, it just becomes, I can't find the chia seeds, look at my life, I'm walking around a plastic environment, there's all plastic products on the walls, and not one of them is the one that I want. Which is obviously silly, because it's like these could all do the job that the chia seeds. Anyway, you get the idea. It really benefits me, I find. But other than that, I mean, really nothing's happening. We can keep having fun. People are jogging all over. People are running around. Oh yeah, God, see people running. I always go for a walk every day this quarantine. I go for one walk a day, very rarely two. And I go for a long walk. It takes me about 2 hours. I go around the marshes. That's what I do. Anyway, so I was walking over this quite narrow bridge. Well, I just walked up the bridge and was about to go along it. That makes sense. Walked up the stairs towards its peak, the highest altitude of the bridge, and this woman's running along the bridge, and I walked along the bridge. She goes, "You should wait." I was just like, oh man, I didn't say anything. I don't think I said anything at all. I just kept walking. In my head I was saying, don't you worry. In my head there was a chain of profanity trudging through London, I'll tell you that. It had gone off the rails. It wasn't even refined to the tracks. And anyway, I didn't say anything, but I thought, you know what? If you're taking this so seriously, then you probably overtook someone to assert your running dominance. Like, I was not even that close to you. It's just, for me, it kind of annoyed me, because I felt like it was just an opportunity that they had to have a go at me, and they took it, rather than just thinking rationally and being like, what they probably could have done is, if they were so worried, first of all, don't go for a run, okay, primarily. Second of all, if you see that I'm kind of dawdling towards a bridge, maybe say, "Hey, excuse me, could you wait, young man?" Or, "Hey, please could you wait?" Or, "Hey, just wait up, please." And that's fine. You don't have to call me young man. It's fine. You could call me man. I've reached that threshold now. She was quite old. That's okay. I just went on with my walk as per usual. Also, she made the bold assumption that I even realised she existed. Like her presence. I was aware that A, first of all, I need to be separated, and B, that she even was there, which I hadn't noticed until she squawked in my ear. Anyway. Is it sunny still? No, it's overcast. Haha, overcast. But yeah, I was, because this person ordered a lot, or they wrote me a long shopping list, so I was carrying a lot of stuff. It was really heavy. I'd say I'm like moderately. If you looked at, I'm quite tall. I'm like moderately strong, but damn, it was like killing me. I felt like someone was tugging my arms down to the center of the earth. But it was just pulses and chickpeas and things. I felt like my arms got longer. Kept tripping over my fingernails. Not actually, but it kind of felt a little bit like that. Not really. It's kind of just exaggerated for comedic effect. I was doing this thing where I was saying, "Okay, Alfie, come on, let's get." So I was walking down the side road. There's lots of cars. I said, "Alfie, okay, static cars weren't moving." I said, "Okay, Alfie, get to the next car. You've got to that car. Now get to the next one." It was only like 2 meters between, but taking those little steps is quite nice. It also makes you realise that, everything in life you think is a very big task is actually just broken up into very small bits. It's the same way sitting on the bench for 13 hours. It seems incredibly long, but actually it's only just like a lot of seconds. Whereas if I go second, then it'd be done before I notice, because I'd just be thinking about the next second. I don't know how I'm going to try and reduce how fast I talk, but it's really just a habit that I have. I think it stems from when I had a stutter when I was younger, so it would take me like 6 seconds to say the start of the word. It would take me 6 seconds to say the first syllable, so then I had to accommodate for that and say the rest of the word within one syllable, or the sentence. Ball. See, I can't say ball. It was somehow, my mum said it was my first word, but ball just doesn't come out of my mouth, or go into my mouth for that matter. And yeah, so that's the end of the podcast, everybody. It was really lovely to have you here today, and I'm really gonna make the most of my time. Thank you. Bye bye.